Mother-in-law rearranged my entire house, so I cleaned her house. My husband and I have been married a long time, but his mother hates me. I've been low to no contact for probably the last 10 years and my life has been divine because of that. Husband doesn't mind because he gets lots of romance when his ma isn't interfering in our relationship. But way back, I tried so hard to get on her good side. I was such a sweet summer child. I thought to myself she should be happy for husband. I cooked and cleaned and threw parties and most people liked me. But she was sly, so husband didn't catch the nuances of her behavior. I tried to point it out, with little luck, because I had no experience with a woman like this. We left for our honeymoon a week after our wedding, enough time for us to set up our small apartment and get cozy living together beforehand. We left for a week with the keys left to mother-in-law to fetch our mail and various things. When we got back she had completely rearranged my kitchen, the living room, threw out some of my pictures and knickknacks from our bedroom, and I swear she also tossed some of my lingerie. I was upset, so upset and cried to husband. He, angry at his mom, talked to her then came home with the usual, can you guess it? She can't imagine why I'd be upset. She was being so helpful. She didn't mean to do anything wrong, and the tears came at her bidding so that husband was thrown for a loop, never having experienced woman-to-woman territorial stomps. He came home spewing her diatribe and simply told me that he would help me put things back. And he did, except for the kitchen, he only made things worse in there but not for lack of trying. Mother-in-law never even taught him to butter bread. She believed the man had to be the breadwinner and the woman had to stay home to clean the house, make the man food, and keep the babies healthy. She's even intruded on our intimate relationship, asking when we were going to give her grandbabies. But I learned a valuable lesson. Whenever mother-in-law was up to her shenanigans, she would wait until we were alone, look at me and do this evil smile with a nod to acknowledge her disdain for me properly. I learned from the best, the very best. Mother-in-law was the town pillar, active in church and charity, and so sweet to the people she approved of. So, here is the meat of this post. Mother-in-law is old now, and still just as sneaky. If anything, old age has sharpened her skills, and she has taken on the role of helpless old lady quite fabulously. There are volunteers who help her and bring her meals, sit and read with her. It's all quite nice, really. She did a week-long stint in the hospital recently, and husband got the key to her house to retrieve her mail, etc. Well, I made a copy of said key without husband knowing because I had a plan. During that week, I took some time off work, I was so sick, don't you know, and let myself into her house to clean her kitchen. I also threw away some broken porcelain and other items because they weren't necessary, took pictures off the walls and put them in the closet. Then I rearranged the linen closet, the coat closet, mother-in-law's closet and her bathrooms. Both of them. I left the living room mostly alone, sadly, but I didn't want husband to catch on. Then, on the day husband was supposed to pick her up from the hospital and bring her home, I offered to help husband clean her house for her homecoming. He was mildly surprised at my offer, but I said I've decided to let bygones be bygones. I will help, then get out of the way so husband could help mother-in-law get settled in. She can mostly live by herself, with a little help every day from Itsna and Hubs to check in on her. So we cleaned, mopped, and vacuumed. Got everything sparkly and clean. I went with husband to fetch his mom and sat in the back seat. When we arrived, mother-in-law immediately noticed things were askew but she couldn't tell what it was yet. Then she noticed the missing pictures. Mother-in-law. What did you do with my pictures? Husband and me. What do you mean? Mother-in-law, you stole my pictures. Me, oh my, no mother-in-law, I helped husband clean and that's all. Husband confirmed that is all I did. I asked if she'd like some tea, and she yelled at me to stay out of her kitchen. She went in herself and screamed, what had we done? I looked at husband all puzzled and husband repeated that he and I only cleaned the counters and dishes, and mopped. Mother-in-law was livid, so I told husband that my presence must be upsetting to her, so maybe I should leave. Husband was confused because he had no idea why his mom was acting so outwardly hostile to me and agreed. So I cheerfully told mother-in-law that I'd be on my way and husband could call me when he's ready to be picked up. That's all husband heard. He didn't see me smile at mother-in-law because he was facing my back. And you all, I nodded at her with her very own signature nod. She was livid. Husband told me on the way home hours later that she had accused me of all sorts of things, and that's when I said the poor dear's mind must be going. He agrees, the poor thing is getting so old, after all. She should have been nicer to me. I get to help pick her nursing home, and I know very well how to play the helpful supportive role. Thanks mother-in-law.